Hello TV fans, Bored now back with you. On this video I will be talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 Episode 10. It is the season finale. The episode is called New Life and New Civilizations. Where have I heard that one before? Full spoilers from the start of this review as always. And boy, there's a lot going on in this final episode of the season. This, of course, has been a very divisive season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which, with some of the fan base who have previously been really high on it, starting to lose interest or starting to get frustrated with certain things. One thing which can't be denied, though, is that the season has taken wild swings. And it continues to take some wild swings, I should say, in this final episode. And I would say this is mostly a good episode, but it's kind of in tune with the season as a whole also. And one thing I will say about the season is that it hasn't been dull. For the most part, anyway. There's been certain moments where you could call it that, but for the most part, it has not been dull. And you can't say that about a lot of TV shows nowadays, so there is something to be said for that. So I would say on the whole, this is a strong final episode. It definitely has its issues. The main one being at times there is just too much going on, and it really does. It goes places and it gets a little bit confusing at times. But what I'm going to do is, because it's the season finale and there's a lot to talk about, I've decided to go into a deep dive on the episode. So I will go through it scene by scene, which I haven't done for a while, but it seems fitting to do it with this one. So buckle in and I'll raise any criticisms or pluses I have about the episode as I go along. So we start with the crew getting ready for Marie's acceptance into a new lead role in the Federation. She's been away for a week and Pike has been missing her, as he is teased about from his crew. Scotty feels like a prat showing up to an informal dinner in a kilt. This was a nice lighter moment and almost joking about the stereotype of Scotty as a Scotsman. Christine also misses Roger when he goes off on another expedition to a tomb similar to the one from a previous episode. Scotty reveals that that DNA from a human has escaped the ship. It turns out to be Gambon's. The body of Gambon, now controlled by the race known as Vista, is the leader of the planet Roger has returned to and is running it like a god-like being. So the first problem with this side of things is it seems a flimsy excuse to have Roger in the episode. After a group including Chapel arrive on the planet, they quickly find Roger and he fades into the background. You could have removed him from the episode and it wouldn't have changed much. And I'll say this about the character, because at first I quite enjoyed him. I remember in that second episode of the season, Wedding Bell Blues, the dynamic and with him and Spock was enjoyable. But after a solid start on the show, Roger has become a pretty pointless supporting character. So I'm not sure where we go from here with him. Marie insists on staying on the Enterprise for the mission, feeling responsible for stopping the Vista, saying she has time to make the ceremony. Pike tells her he no longer feels his future is set in stone thanks to her. Now this is setting up one of the big themes of the episode. There's a cheeky Next Generation reference when Pike mentions his turning point after Marie told him to shave off his beard, just like Riker in Next Gen, but in reverse order, I guess. Though this show got off to a much stronger start than Next Gen. All this seems to be setting Patel up for a big sacrifice, Credit to the writers for making her one of the surprise packages of the season. You wouldn't have predicted that back in season 1. The look of the planet is impressive and cinematic, again showing off the budget of the show. The outfits of Chapel and Co are also eye-catching and colourful. Laran taking out a couple of the planet's servants with the Vulcan death grip, which I'm guessing she learnt from Spock, makes Chapel jealous. It's a cool moment. Things go a bit OTT when Gambon sacrifices a couple of his followers whose eyes pop out, with those modern Trek Dutch angles going wild, and believe it or not, Jonathan Frakes didn't direct this episode. The team come to the conclusion that magic orbs can defeat the Vista. Joseph recognises an ancient poem on the wall of the tomb, laying out his life even before he was born. Next thing we know, Gambon has entrapped Mbenga within the tomb, which isn't visible to the others, leaving them with no choice but to beam back up. In the first of many monologues in the episode, Gambon says this isn't just about Joseph's history, but about all their history, before setting off a blast which infects Patel. Chapel later reads Marie's vital signs, revealing that she is not only linked to the ancient race on the planet, but is the founder, aka the statue. Marie believes the Vista are the ancient evil described by Pelia previously. She works out that when she was infused by the Gorn DNA, it left her exposed to the Vista. She has accepted her destiny to sacrifice herself. Spock says she must defeat the Vista, aka Gamble, to take its place. This is at the point where things are feeling a bit too convoluted. It's doing a decent job of bringing the season threads together, but with the 10 episode season count, it doesn't feel like some of this stuff has had time to breathe. The Marie transformation has been off and on this season, and it feels like a more serialized version rather than the episodic format of the previous 2 seasons, which seemed to get a better mix. Uneven, and although there's been some great stuff with Marie this season, there's other aspects of the storyline that could have been better done. Maybe they could have gone more into her struggling with her Gorn self, for example. After beaming down to the planet, Pike and Marie discover that they need extra power to break into the tomb. The others work out that they can use both the Enterprise and Kirk's ship for power. The catch is that both ships must move in synchronicity, and in one of the coolest scenes of the episode, Spock suggests he does a Vulcan mind meld with Kirk so they can double up to power both ships. It's a cool looking effect, and of course is a nice excuse for another Kirk and Spock moment to jerk off the fans. Once inside the tomb, Gamble wounds both Pike and Patel by shooting beams from his hands, and things soon go full-on Mortal Kombat or Lord of the Rings as Patel and Gambon's eyes light up and they do battle, baby. It's been a feature of this season that the writers are taking wild swings with subgenres that don't always feel true to the show or to Trek in general. This is another example, but I tell you what, it may piss a lot of Trek fans off, but it kept things fun and entertaining. I kind of digged it. The finale takes another wild swing as we abruptly cut to the future, or at least an imagined future, with Pike and Patel living their lives happily, including raising a daughter who is, of course, going to become a member of Starfleet. In a nice touch, she takes the role which her mother would have taken if fate hadn't intervened. they also see her get engaged to another young ensign. There's a lot of talk of space and time and romancing about the appeal of not knowing what comes next. Some of it comes off as mumbo jumbo. On her deathbed, Marie is happy. I've got to say too, the aging makeup effects in this scene are pretty damn good, much better than this.
He's backflushed all the water and he's keeping it for himself. I looked everywhere, and this is all I could find. It's sardine juice, half a dozen lemons, and the water from a snow globe.
You have a much greater chance of surviving until help comes.
Don't do this, Mulder.
Don't be so stubborn, Scully. You know I'm right.
Well, there isn't much liquid to make a difference anyway.
There might be.
She tells Chris to go and answer the door, and it's at this point then Gambon appears at the door, leading them to return to the past and the tomb. This stuff is really solid, but it does drag on a bit. Back in the tomb, Patel finally defeats Gambon before he can release a horde of beings. No, I'm not making this shit up, making her the new founder. We then get extended wrap-up scenes with all the characters. They even remember that Mitchell still exists. Roger leaves for another expedition, with him and Chapel agreeing to keep their long-distance thing going. I tell you what, at least they haven't made a massive deal of the relationship after those early episodes. Spock and Kirk play chess, with the Vulcan indicating they will remain friends, and that they may even serve together on a ship one day. Honk! 2 on the nose there, Mr. Spock, and that's something this season has done more than the previous 2. Duran calls Spock away, with Kirk noticing that they are going for a dance-off, something he picked up from the mind mould. I wonder if they'll come back to that. Una supports Pike at this difficult time, as he says he is not ready to talk about Marie yet. His voiceover describes how loved ones live on in the memory, so they are never truly gone. I was a bit unclear why the wrap-up included Joseph hugging Chapel like they were saying goodbye. My only answer is that either she was comforting him over the loss of Gamble, or it was he comforting her over Roger leaving again. It turns out Roger's research has led the crew to a new planet and mission, one said to last for about 5 years, which could be a hint of that Year 1 show which has been hinted at. We get more banter with Una asking Pike if this is a hit it situation. Finally, Erica takes them out. This finale does have an end of the show type feel, which makes me wonder if it was written before it was renewed for season 4. They always planned for 5 seasons, of course, and they were probably pretty confident of getting them, but with a show like this on Paramount Plus, you sometimes have to take it season by season, and it was recently they got the confirmation that they would get a season 4, which would be 10 episodes again, followed by a shorter final 5th season to wrap things up. So it's possible this finale was written before they knew for sure they were getting renewed. It at least seems to mark a new chapter, with the writers now with a clear endgame for the remaining 2 seasons. Certain things were rushed and could have been given more time, such as Erica's PTSD in my opinion. I wonder if they will return to certain subplots, such as Erica having ill will towards La'an over the Gorn incident. I can see them coming back to that in at least 1 episode to resolve it. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of that stuff. A season of up and downs then, the least coherent of the show so far. At times they got too carried away with the gimmicks, but it was impressive to watch some of the wild swings play out. Strange New Worlds is still the best modern Trek, and Season 3 still offered lots to enjoy. Overall, I'm going to give the season 7 out of 10. So the weakest so far, but definitely still plenty to entertain you, plenty of wild things going on, lots of talking points, and it still hit its mark enough of the time to keep me watching along. So there you have it. That's my review of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the season finale for season 3 and the season as a whole. Let me know what you guys thought of season 3 in the comments below. Are you as negative on it as some people? Did you really enjoy it? Where would you place it amongst the other 3 seasons? As I said, about a 7 out of 10 is about right for me for season 3. I think overall the episodes have averaged out to about a 7, so it's not as consistent as season 1 and 2, but still very solid overall in my opinion, and I at least appreciate some of the ambition. So yeah, let me know what you think of this season overall. And the good news is that we won't have to wait too long for season 4, because it is promised for next year, sometime around about the mid, maybe later point of 2026. So that's exciting stuff. And I don't want to jinx it too much, but it's always possible we'll then get the final season in 2027. I can't believe I'm saying 2027, because I know the cast are returning soon to film that final season. I'm reviewing other modern TV. I have been reviewing Alien Earth, although I haven't done a review for a while. That maybe gives away some of my feelings on that show. I've been reviewing Dexter Resurrection. Also this week I've started the new HBO miniseries Task from the writer of Mayor of Easttown, so you can find my thoughts of that on the channel. And yeah, there'll be more TV reviews. Of course, I'm going to end with my own special season montage / wrap up of Strange New Worlds. Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep watching Star Trek, and I'll see you again soon. And of course, I will be reviewing season 4 of the show coming up next year. But take care, guys. Keep watching Trek. See you soon.
Jitterbug. 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 Jitterbug.
You put the boom boom into my heart. You send my soul sky high when your loving starts. A jitterbug into my brain. It goes to bang 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 till my feet do the same. But something's bugging, something ain't right. My best friend told me what you did last night. You left me sleeping in my bed. I was dreaming, but I should have been with you instead. Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. I don't wanna miss it when you hit that high. Wake me up before you go. Cause I'm not planning on going solo. Wake me up before you go. Take me dancing tonight. I wanna hit that high. Yeah, yeah. You put the gray skies out of my way. You make the sunshine brighter than the darkest day. Turn the bright spark into a flame. My beats per minute never been the same. Cause you're my lady, I'm your fool. It makes me crazy when you act so cruel. Come on baby, let's not fight. We'll go dancing, everything will be alright. Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. I don't wanna miss it when you hit that